my path so I complete the mission. Yeah, I'll never rest, regardless of all the pain and the stress. Yeah, say it with my chest, I was destined to be the best. I'll never rest, regardless of all the pain and the stress. Yeah, say it with my chest, I was destined to be the best. I'll never rest, regardless of all the pain and the stress. Yeah, say it with my chest, I was destined to be the best. I'll never rest, regardless of all the pain and the stress. Yeah, I'll say it with my chest, I was destined to be the best. Yes.
Welcome back to the last sip. As you can see, I got it going earlier and I had some complications, but now I'm all good to go. And I want to thank y'all for tuning in. I've been going for about a week. I had to go out of town to see my kids, but before I even get any of that going, I want to say here, you already know, I don't spill tea, but I do take the last sip. So let's give it applause for that. Today's show is going to be brought to you by, once again, cider trim. Now, cider trim is what I take when I'm going through my cut season. The reason I take it is it helps you with the bloating, helps you get some probiotic in your body, and it also helps you to cut down the weight. Now, if you know anything about apple cider vinegar, that's what people use to get that little tightness back in their stomach, get the abs working, but it also keeps you regular. Take this here. I'm telling you right now, this will work for you. It's a fat burner, tummy tucker, and it is a probiotic all in one. So let's give a shout out here right now to cider trim. Well, y'all, I'm glad y'all tuned in. Like I said, I had a little complications getting back set up. I was gone to see my kids for a week. It was an amazing time. That's why I ain't been before you. And on that trip I took, man, to see my kids, there's a lot of good things happen. I got a lot of parenting things situated with my kids. If you're a parent like me, you know you've been through a couple of things with your children, man. Everything don't go the way it's supposed to go all the time. Sometimes you got things going on to where you get at odds with your kids. You know what I'm saying? Because your children are adults. And as parents, sometimes we forget that when they leave our homes and get their own lives, they grown. You can't tell them what to do no more. You can't tell them how to live their life. Sometimes they don't want you to impact like that, but you need to be there for them. To be that voice of reasoning for them when they need it, to be that love when they need it, to be that comfort, that fallback, if you will. With that being said, we have a lot of parents out here that are dealing with the helicopter syndrome. Now, the helicopter syndrome is going to be the subject of my first topic called I Am My Child. We got a lot of parents out here that live vicariously through their children. Now, I'm going to tell you why that's not a good thing. Because when you live vicariously through your children, what basically happens is you force your children to do things that you wish you could have or should have did. That is an issue. Because what you're doing is you're setting up your child for a certain extent of failure or disappointment. And I'm going to tell you why. When you're a helicopter parent, what that basically is like, so you went through activities during your life, maybe trying to do something special in school or trying to be an athlete. And this does happen with athletes more than other scenarios. Excuse me. But if you're trying to be a lawyer or you're trying to be a doctor or you're trying to be a politician or you're trying to be a teacher or you're trying to be a police officer, if you're trying to be an athlete, be it track, basketball, football, whatever it is, baseball, you gave as much effort as you could to do this. But something in your life happened to where you could not fulfill it. You either got an injury, you either had problems you couldn't afford the schooling, you might have had a situation to where the parents separated, you got to a certain level and got told you couldn't be on the team any longer, or you weren't needed or necessary for whatever field you were trying to go into. So we have it to where these parents have children. These people have children. And yes, this early broadcast today. And they have children. And when they have these children, the child is usually taught the things the parents wanted to do when they were younger. Like my kids, I love sports. So my sons, I coached them basketball. I coached them in basketball from when they were real tiny and little. I was a brain, so my daughter, I basically led her to the educational side of things. And so with that being said, My daughter ended up becoming more of a highly educated person I was. If you know me as a person, I do take pride. Like I say, I'm not boastful or have braggatas about it, but I do take pride in the fact that I'm a over average educated person. I'm very smart when it comes to things and objects and situations. My daughter has me crushed on that. Both of my daughters they completely got me knocked out the water. Now, as far as sports, I was a Steve Urkel type guy. Never really had the body for sports, but loved them. Gave 100% effort. I was one of the guys who were like, man, if that kid if I could put that kid's heart in your body, oh God, I have an all-star. I was one of those kids. I was the hard part. So my sons grew up playing basketball. My son Dathan, you know him as Untitled, awesome basketball player. My son Javante, awesome basketball player. They got further than I did. My son Dathan went to college and was going to go to play basketball. My son Javante was in high school and never really, got it moved the way he needed to, but he still played. And not one time did I ever say to myself, man, I want them to do what I couldn't do. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I knew my kids, I was a homeless single father, so I raised my kids and they were individuals. I always taught them no matter what people said, they asked you what race you were, they asked you where you come from, who you are, you give them your name. Because you're an individual. So with them being an individual, I couldn't instill my dreams of past, want to have glory, or my has been, I was this, I was that, I have been this. I couldn't instill that into my children. Because if they didn't succeed in what I thought I should have succeeded in, then I'm looking at them like they're failures. Because I pushed them to do these things that they didn't want to do, but I had them doing it because I wanted to do it and never fulfilled it. Another thing is, not only that, but then you teach the children you teach them how not to succeed in failure. Because if they fail at what you wanted them to do, not what they want to do for what you want them to do, then they feel they let you down. So now they're going through an emotional spiral. They feel like they're not worthy of you. They feel like they're not getting the respect they should get from you. They feel like you're not loving them the way you should love them. All because you decided to be a helicopter parent. That right there is a big problem now, and more so in athletes. So I'm going to go to the athletic part. How many of you guys have relatives that were basketball stars, track stars, football stars, and they got to a certain level, but never got over that echelon of where you thought they should have went? But then you see their children growing up and their children doing the same sports they did, but they trained their children earlier than what they started. That's because some of them are doing it the correct way. I give you honest. I make it honest. If the child wants to get into something like that and wants to work out, if the child has the fire for it, take it. If your child gets like, Dad, man, I'm ready. I want to shoot, but I want to get so better at basketball. I'm ready to do it. That's how Dathan came on one day crying up their game that they lost. I'll tell a story about my son real quick. And he said, Dad, I'm tired of losing. I just want to get better. I want to be good. So me already being a coach, I said, okay, I got you. Boom, I was able to kick my plan into motion. But if he'd have came and say, Dad, you know what? I think I'm done with basketball. Now the old me, being a helicopter parent, I would have said, man, son, you got to do this, man. I'm saying, it's like, you can do this, man. Don't give up. Don't quit on it, man. You ain't giving the effort. But if he really feel, but me now, knowing what I know from then till now, knowing that he did not want to do that, he did not want to play, I'm like, you know what, son? Okay, it is. There's something else out there for you. My daughter, she ran track one year. Never been an athlete. She decided when she's going to run track just to try. Y'all, the poor soul, she was the only track member of the whole team. Nobody else. She was the only person on the team. She was the whole 7th or 8th grade track team by herself. And she's a brain. But she said, Dad, I tried it. I can't do it. It's not me. I'm going back to my books. Fine. All I can do is I can applaud her. She gave an effort. She gave it a shot and a try. And I did not push her. because she was more of a brain than she was an athlete. So I didn't push her. And with it being that way, she budded and succeeded. She went to college and became a teacher. Let's give a shout out for educationers. Shout out for people that do the educators. Let's give a shout out to them. But my son decided to keep playing basketball, so I coached him and gave him the tools he needed. And that's what your job is as a parent. When your child wants to do it, don't push them, but help elevate them. A lot of y'all out here being helicopter parents, a lot of y'all out here living through your child's glory and fame. You're out here having your child do these sports, having your child do these spelling bees, having your child do these debates, having your child do these plays, get into choir, get in the chorus, get in the show choir, running track, playing basketball, playing football, because something you didn't complete. And you're trying to make your child do it because the fact that you think that if your child does it, you'll be taken care of. I'll say it again. You think that if your child does it, you'll be taken care of. Because you want to do it for your future to make a better future for yourself. But if your child does it, hey, you got that thing in the back of your head, they owe me something. That is not the type of parent to be. You have got to be a parent that's going to support your child 120%. I say 100, I say 120. You got to give a little bit extra when your child's an athlete, because they're going to have times where they don't win games. They're going to be out. You got times they don't win spelling bees, where they don't sing the right thing, or they might not get the main role in the play when they're going through drama. You have to be the one to have that 20% added on, so you get 120% to keep them motivated. But if they say they don't want to do any longer, give them space. No matter how much money you spent on it, that's nothing with us parents. I spent all this money, she gonna finish this. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do it. 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 That's how you get yourself in quicksand. If y'all know the definition of quicksand, what they call quicksand is when you get into a spot and you keep moving and moving and moving, you sink further and further. Sometimes you gotta learn to stand still and don't move. And sometimes the problem will solve itself. Sometimes that kid just needs that little break, like, okay, I'm ready to go back at it. And you, being the parent you are, get 120%, back them up. But the major issue, y'all, that I'm not getting to about this helicopter parent thing is this. If your child doesn't succeed at doing it and you didn't, do not destroy your relationship with your child. That is a big problem. It's a problem to put those pressures on your child. And then when your child doesn't succeed the way you think they should succeed, and you didn't succeed in that arena, you got to learn to understand to not put the pressure on the child afterwards. Still have an open, loving arm. Because every athlete don't make it. Do y'all know the odds of athletes? Y'all know the odds of lawyers? Y'all know the odds of actors? The odds of singers that come from junior high to high school all the way up until they become adults. This subject is so touchy because it's a lot of parents. I'm not going into the different phases of things because this is just one type and style of parenting. Oh, there's others. There's others. There are so others. There's the Me Too parent style of teaching the kids. There's a we're better than you style of teaching the kids. There's a get what you got to get. Don't get nobody else nothing. There are so many techniques and parent styles out here. But this helicopter parenting style irritates me the most because it's one that affects us, especially in the Black community. Can we go there with this? Can we go there with this? In the Black community, this is a situation that happens all the time. We have parents that couldn't make it because something happened to them in life, and they push it on to their child. And then only that, but then you're at the games and you bragging about your child. You talking to people bragging about what your child can do. You push your child out there for everybody, and you're just putting them on the spot in the pedestal. And then when your child doesn't make it, you're going to have haters. Like I told you, Jimmy wouldn't make it. I told you they was pushing that boy too hard. I give an example. Have you guys seen the movie, is it King Richard? I forgot what it's called, the story of Venus and Serena Williams. There's a scene in there with a next door neighbor, and there is a meme about this going around. The two girls come over to get a lady her mail or something like that. The lady tells the girls, say, man, y'all see out there in the rain, y'all should be tired. Y'all daddy working out there, tell dad start working out so hard. So Richard, who was played by Will Smith, comes across the street, tells me, he said, well, I tell you about talking to my kids. Well, you out there working them harder than, he said, no, I'm trying to get them out of this situation. Now, what it was with him, he knew the potential of his daughters. They had the love to play tennis. It's something they had been playing since they were little. So it's not like he said, you know what, you're going to play this, you're going to shove and play this thing. No. He might have got, what he did was when he seen something they wanted to do, he understood what they wanted to do, he went 120% and made sure he opened up every avenue, all of his extra time, all of his finances to make sure these girls can play tennis. Look what happened. The rest is history. And they tell you right now, no matter how rough it was from when they were younger, they love the game. That is how you parent an athlete. And make it even worse, I want to continue with that little story, make it worse, that her little daughter was into mess all the time. Well, one day, child services came to Venus and Serena's house and talked to their dad. Like we heard there's a child abuse going on. He said, what are you talking about? Somebody called, we can't tell you what they called, and said that your children are being overworked and this and that and that. And the girl's like, what? And it was that nose never across the street who got upset that the father was helping the daughters reach greatness. That's different. Why don't y'all get on these parents that's out here making their kids do stuff? Why don't y'all get on off the subject? Why don't y'all spend time being nosy, protecting kids that need to be protected? See, in the black community, y'all, we got big issues. This is just one of them. The energy is placed into the wrong area all the time. We're not fulfilling dreams. And then if we don't fulfill them, we push them onto our kids. Not only do we push them onto our kids, we get mad at them for not succeeding. Guess what? They have to become adults too and live their own lives. They're allowed to make mistakes. Didn't you? Didn't you have the opportunity to make a mistake? Do you have the opportunity to give everything a try before you said you were going to do it again? We've got to stop this helicopter parenting, people. We got to make sure that we're out here doing things to provide success for our children that don't depend on how we were when we were young. That don't depend on how we think they should go. Well, if I did it, he need to do it. Well, if I did it, she need to do it. Y'all might not want to hear this, but some young ladies are made to be mothers. They're not made to be actresses or singers or dancers. Some young men out here are meant to be fathers. They're not meant to be basketball players or football players or actors. Parents, there's nothing wrong with your child having a regular life. I didn't say a bad life or a good life. I said a regular life. Meaning if they just grow up and have children and drop all the sports that they were doing, that's what they're going to do. Even that, even the parenting thing, helicopter parenting goes into parenting too. Because you didn't do what you thought you should do with your child, don't try to force your children to do it with your grandchildren. Do I need to say it again? Just because you didn't do what you're supposed to do as a parent, don't try to come back and recycle that and make it work with your child, with your grandchildren. We got a lot of parents that did that. A lot of parents that messed up with their kids. But they have the nerve to come to their grown children and tell them where they messed up with their kids. I understand it's called knowledge and wisdom. I got you on that. Well, if it was me, I would have, no, because you didn't do it with your child. This is the big. I'm telling y'all. I know I'm hitting somebody out here. The comments ain't rolling in like usual. Probably won't get all the little views like I want to get because I'm hitting somebody in the face right now. I'm taking your whole logic of parenting. I'm throwing it in the air and I'm doing this to it. See, I was gone for a week, y'all, and it gave me a chance to think and ponder about a bunch of different stuff that I need to be hitting on. And this is one of them. What really triggered me was my brother KP was telling me about his daughters and they softball. You got a bunch of kids out here that don't even care about playing softball, but their parents make them play it because it's in the family. Or you're part of this area of people, so you got to play because your friend's playing. That's a bunch of baloney. Half the parents that do this failed at the softball, baseball themselves. All these track kids out here, all these football player kids right now, half their parents didn't make it past junior college and upset that they didn't make it, so they make their kids play football. You're like, well, junior played until he got the second year of college. He just didn't want to play no more. He didn't want to play to begin with. You forced him to play. Why did he drop out of college? Because he became a semi-adult. He got away from you. You couldn't force him to play football any longer. Especially if you're not paying for the college. He's paying for it himself. You can't tell him what to do. You heard me. You heard me. Y'all got to stop with this, man. There's too much of this madness going around. Let these kids be kids, man. If they're going to be young adults doing things on their own, and you're the grandparent, remember, they're not you. They can't live through you. You can't live through them. Y'all better learn to leave stuff alone. And I only say that because the more I think about it, I think we all, one time or another, tried to get our kid to be like us. I'll be for real. We all tried. I know we have. We've all tried. And it don't always work that way. It don't. So with that being said, I'm gonna leave the subject alone because I know I did touch some feelings. I know I got some people in their feelings right now. I know some people upset. I don't care. Because right now is the time you gotta understand we in a bad phase of time right now. That's gonna lead to my next subject. About these random thoughts. We're in a bad phase of time right now. We're in a phase of time we live into where it's just, we're trying to keep ourselves involved and evolved. Involved in anything going on with people that we love, we're concerned about, because we're evolving enough to understand that where we're going needs to be a whole family concept. And I'm going to get to you right now. My second subject is random thoughts. And the reason I got into the evolve and involve is because where we're going right now with this presidential race is going to make us all evolve. Regardless of who wins, we got to evolve to be better people. We got to learn to involve people we love and people that's important to us into a group because we're going to need them. The way you act on a daily basis impacts everybody. When you don't involve the right people in your situations, you can evolve one or two ways. Evolve is not a positive or negative. Evolve just means to make a change. Butterfly evolves, goes through metamorphosis. It goes from a worm, caterpillar, or whatever, to a butterfly. A maggot, larva, turns into a fly. An egg turns into a baby. Now, when you evolve, I didn't say elevate, it's a difference. You can evolve positively or negatively. You can evolve either way. If you choose to evolve in a positive way, you impact people in the right way. You have things go your way. Karma works in your favor when you evolve positivity. Positivity. See, I'm going to get it right today, sooner or later. You can also evolve and take your value down on your karma. When you walk out your house, if you got a nasty attitude on you and you refuse to change it, watch how your day goes. It'll evolve into something completely different than what you thought it would be. If you go around carrying a nasty attitude on you, you get what you got coming. It's karma. Random thought, y'all. Stop letting things that happened yesterday affect your today because it'll destroy your tomorrow. Stop letting things that happened yesterday affect your today because it'll hurt your tomorrow. Just random thoughts. Also, another random thought. Is it just me, or as soon as it comes time, hear me out, don't get upset with me. If you do, it is what it is. Just me, or is it that time of year where as soon as we get people that decide to go vote, that when they vote, when they're voting for Donald Trump, is it just me, or is it like they get dumb this time of year? I said it before. Everybody that voted for Donald Trump wasn't racist, but every racist voted for Donald Trump. I swear it's like the dumbest stuff happened whenever he's getting ready to run for office. Y'all put these shirts and hats on. Y'all talk a little different. You walk a little different. You confront people a little different. Listen here. I don't care who your president is. Don't disrespect me because I don't disrespect you. Because what happened is we're going to have a problem evolve. From just me and you talking to each other to me doing some things to you. That's called evolution. Y'all, if you know somebody out here that's suffering and you got more than enough, help them. Random thought. Why do we have so many people in our country starving without homes, but yet we'll sit here and say, well, I can't give him $1 in the corner because I don't know where the heck, how he got out there, you know, what he did to get there. But then we have the nerves to send $20 or $30 overseas to people we ain't never seen or don't know. Random thought. We're going to church and tell God we love him, pay tithe and offering, but can't feed a homeless guy around the corner. Random thought. Got young parents out here, can buy brand new shoes, buy weed, buy drink, but can't buy diapers for their kids. Random thought. Got fellas out here, won't pay a lick of child support to send their baby mom the money for their kids, but you got brand new Nikes and a new PlayStation 5. Random thought. Why do people that work all day long, work a 9 to 5, can't survive with the way they make to put food in their refrigerator or get medical coverage? But there's people that sit at home. I ain't saying all of them don't need it, but people that sit at home that don't do anything and make this money. Get checks, get food stamps, and get free medical. Random thought. Why did the government monopolize television? You cannot get, I don't know if y'all remember where you would be up until the national anthem came on? TV went off when we were young. When we were little, TV went completely off. TV doesn't go off any longer. TV does not go off. TV stays on 24/7. And you can't watch regular TV. I live down south. They took channels away off of the regular television because you got to have an antenna to watch it anyway. But they took regular channels off of TV. Now the way you can get TV is to stream Netflix, Hulu, YouTube TV. Tubi, Prime, Peacock. They made it to where they make money off of every time you turn your TV on. Every time you turn TV on, they get paid for it. Monopolizing. Random thoughts. If water and light has always been free since the beginning of time, why do we pay for it? Somehow they gotta clean the water out. I can go to a river and clean my own water out. Well, you gotta be able to have lights. No, I don't. I can live sun up to sundown. Well, what about feeding yourself? I can barbecue. But unable to have a child in your home or be able to live by the rights and rules of what we have now, you can literally be put in custody for living in a place that has no amenities. Random thought. All these random thoughts came to my head today, y'all, because these are things that we go through and we're living through every single day. There's cause and effects to everything I just mentioned. It's time to wake up, man. It's time to use your third eye and start waking up. Stop eating all this stuff clogging your arteries. Stop listening to everything you hear on TV. Stop believing everything you read all the time. And start to research and dig into more things that pertain to you. Start using your mental the right way. Start taking care of responsibilities. All these things I just mentioned, y'all, are simply things that fall through the cracks. The parent thing about the parents not taking care of the kids goes back to what I said earlier. Then we got those ones who are over the top. There is a happy medium. But we got fathers that don't take care of their children. We got mothers that don't care about their kids, just keep them from get a check. Fathers that don't do nothing, don't send child support, nothing, just lay with these ladies because they can say they did it. People out here acting crazy because they think that their politician gonna win the election. People walk around rude every day because they upset and irritated about something. They take it on to everybody else. Y'all, all this stuff is real. Everything I mentioned to you was a cause that has a cause and effect. Like I said, it evolves. Comes from a smaller situation, evolves. All this is destroying mankind because we're all not on the same page. We're not all involved, and we are evolving the wrong way. Let's get it together because where we're going to need each other, seriously. Well, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. Like I said, I didn't have my show. I didn't plan on having like this big Yahoo or hoorah. I just wanted to let y'all know, man, that I'm looking out on some situations and just some things that kind of touch me. And if we don't change ourselves as people in general, be it white, black, whatever it is, we're gonna have problems for a long time. Be it helicopter parenting or be it just a random thought thing. It's the things I mentioned today, they serious, man. Some of y'all take what I do as a joke. I don't care. I really don't care. Because I understand that the things I'm talking about are serious. They're real. They're relevant. And when you can't take stuff serious or you can't give stuff relevancy the way it deserves to be given, that is an issue. And that's what we're dealing with now. We got too many people out here who don't care about nothing. They don't care about life. They don't care about family. And it's just something we got to fix. With that being said, I want to thank y'all for tuning to the last sip. Sorry I rambled on for a little bit, y'all, but I missed y'all. I had to hit it up. Shouts out real quick to Donna Guthrie for tuning in. Donna, I see that food for thought. Yeah, as many people as you can to watch the podcast. I got a lot of good subjects coming up pretty soon. Send a shout out to my son, Dathan Hill. I did get the little filler I put on my Facebook page about the new single coming out. Y'all want to send love and shout out to my daughter, Simile Britton, who just had a beautiful young baby, weighing in 5 pounds, 8 ounces, by the name of Harmony. It's so crazy because she has another daughter named Symphony, and you can't have a symphony without some harmony. So, that's just a little dad humor, so I'm saying. But I love you guys for tuning in. Much love and respect, man. Like I said, the show wasn't as long as it usually is because I just got back off the road and went to give y'all something to let y'all know I was still here. Love all of y'all, man. Peace. Bottle of hair grease. Remember, I never spill tea, but I do. Take the last sip.
Recipe, tell them they below, not next to me. I dare them try to question me. Toss the coin up, calling it heads, cause that's what I'm aiming for. Your whole quality's dead. I was built from strong threads. Watch my working just like COVID-19. It's gonna be a tough spread. Now I got your attention. Let's switch dimensions. I think they need me in this competition. Thanks to influences, it's my ambition. Also envision my path, so I complete the mission. Yeah, I'll never rest, regardless of all the pain and the stress. Yeah, say it with my chest, I was destined to be the best. I'll never rest, regardless of all the pain and the stress. Yeah, say it with my chest, I was destined to be the best. I'll never rest, regardless of all the